Hello, I'm Gonjuri from the Department of Computer Engineering at Jungang University, attending the RACS 22 conference. The title of my paper is Discovery Synergy Association by Future Clustering from Soccer Players. Uh, Let me check the order of the presentation. In my first session, the motivation for writing the paper and the instruction of the paper are carried out. The second session described the experiment, and the third session described the results or the experiment, and the fourth session described the conclusion. The growth of professional sports has been accompanied by an increase in the use of the various scientific tools that analyze sporting data. Among these tools, the use of big data analysis is becoming commonplace. In particular, research on the analysis of soccer has grown owing to the expansion of the soccer market. As such, the need for big data analysis in the sport of soccer is emerging, and this demand will continue to increase in the future. Formations and tactics in the soccer are based on experience and intuition of managers and coaches. However, when organizing these formations and tactics rely solely on the managers' experience and intuition, make us mistake and fail to produce the best result. Therefore, in this study, we analyzed psychotactics and formations for the tactical decision-making process that can assist coaches in making tactical decisions. The first step is to utilize the Boruta algorithm. Boruta algorithm is the technical that utilize the jet of a random burst and has high variety of and predictability advantages. The selection of features based on forecast results ensures predictability and stability. In this in this paper, soccer player data are applied to the Boruta algorithm to select information features. The mode of operation of the Boruta algorithm copies all features to create a new shadow feature. Next, the shadow feature are randomly mixed, and random forest algorithm is applied to extract the largest MSZA of the obtained Z value. The, the features are execute random forest to extract the Z value. If the extracted Z value is greater than MSJA, the character- characteristic feature is then selected as the important feature. The second step is to utilize the k-means algorithm. K-means clustering was used to define the specific rules of certain players. The k-means method requires the users to specify the number of k in the cluster. In the words with k, the elbow method is used in this study to establish K as performance difference in the crust. The error method is a method of determine, determining the K value in which sum obscures error in a crust in a minor. The sum obscures error indicates the distance of our sample from the deviation. The evaluation method reduces the sum of squares error according to the value of k, which is designated as the proportion where the decreasing rate becomes dramatically smaller. The third step is to utilize weighted association rule mining for synergetic association between players. Weighted association rule mining can be applied to synergies between specific players by using weighted rating as well as participation. In addition, since there is a difference in power between clubs, weighted association rule mining was conducted by dividing the level of the clubs. Tactics and formation will are differed depending on the opponent's strength. For this reason, weighted association rule mining is performed by dividing by the level of the opponent in this study. The weighted support is described by equation 3. The support is multiplied with the weight by considering the rate among the players. The closer the weighted support is to 1, the greater the number of matches played together and the better the synergy. The weighted conference is described by equation 4. The weighted conference is calculated by multiply the calculated confidence by the weight of the rating information based on the frequency of the player's participation. The closer this value is to 1, the higher the percentage of JCB's participation in the competition in which JCA played, and the better synergy. For CMF0A, CMF represents the position and the number 0 is the level obtained through clustering. Lowercase letters indicate players. First, CMF0A, who competed in 9 of the 10 games, has the highest support. Additional player and values are FW0, FW1, CMF young 0B, and yeah, that's same thing. The last step is to utilize global optimization and local optimization. Global optimization is a method of organizing in 11 players by selecting the highest number of the transactions over the set of the support threshold. Then selecting the associated position through the confidence of the transactions. Local optimization is a method of selecting one player of the support threshold and one player based on the highest confidence. Now let's look at the result. In this study, the English Premier League soccer player data set from the website uh, whoscores.com was utilized. Uh, special Specifically, the data point is an average record for competition and the collected data for a total of 5 seasons. Data were also collected for particular position. The data consists of the total of 69 features. And the Boruta algorithm was applied and the number of random first trials was 1000. The results show the important features by playing position, which are divided into offensive, passing, and defensive, depending on the data category. In the experimental results, the centerfold is an important feature for shooting and dribble and passing associated with attack. The attack midfielder AMF mainly adopted passing features such as passes and corner kicks and free kicks. The wing position is the main features for shooting, dribble, and passing along with defensive ability. The remaining results can be found in the paper. The game's analysis was used to define detailed rules for the position using the Boruta algorithm. Figure 1 shows the result of of strikers. In the case of strikers, it is evident that there is a noticeable difference between dribbling ability and reliable ball contents ability. For example, the dribble ability of target man is 4, while their ability to compete for a reliable ball is excellent. TM has a large built-in lack aggressive but can provide chance to teammate by competing with offensive defenders in the air based on their physical characteristics. On the other hand, in the case of the second strike SS, the number of driving attempts is high, indicating that it is a type of shadow strike who can dribble past upsetting defenders. Looking at the cluster result of defensive midfielder, the blind playmaker has a high number of passes and pass accuracy compared to its defensive capability. This position is defined as one which coordinates the game through passing in the third line of defensive midfielders. The, lim- the remaining result can be found in the paper. The weighted association rule mining is conducted based on the cluster analysis results. The analysis was divided into CL, ML, EL, and RL according to their club level, and into global optimization and local optimization. The position with the highest weighted confidence of the classic CB and number is 2. Number 2 is box to box number 3. This means that the third transaction, box to box, will be selected after the second transaction of classic center, classic CB. The line connecting the players indicate a association. Many connected players indicate a high association with given players and a high rating when playing together. Uh, Figure 2 show the result of global weighted association rule mining by the club CL club Tottenham. Tottenham used the 4-3-3 formation the most when playing against other CL clubs. This shows that the balance of defense and midfielder is play centered. In games against RL clubs, it is evident that Tottenham to increase their cost by using mostly offensive players as opposite to balancing offense and defense. Arsenal, one of the EL clubs, showed a difference in global optimization and local optimization when dealing with CL clubs, uh, which are generally high-level teams. And it is evaluation of research model. Looking at the table 4, you can see that according to global optimization and local optimization, good result have come out. It can also be seen that the formation results are quite consistent with the formation of the actual competition. If I were to discuss this paper about conclusion, mm, In this study, clustering was conducted to divide the players' roles. As a result, all positions were group, grouped according to the detailed rules of positions that include characteristic, characteristic, but not one cluster. In addition to verify the difference in formations and tactics by relative level, weighted association rule mining of players' rating was conducted. The ratings are not only simple data such as the frequency of passes, the number of points, and the number of assists for players, but also the score evaluated by soccer experts who analyzed the game themselves. Players who were given high grades were not only rated on invi- invi- individual performance, but also has high synergy with their fellow players. While traditional association rule mining was able to analyze patterns with data only for participation, but weighted association rule is resulted in different analysis results. And also, one limit of this study is quality of the data. Additional data such as pass-through, log data, scoring to pass is between the players would you produce more precious and reliable results. In addition, there is the limitation of the scale of the assessment. As there are no correct answers in sacrals, it is impossible to assess the result of this experiment by comparing them with established correct answers. For example, once could you assume that the win rate for the team would rise if a particular player was selected. However, the result would not be known unless the coach had played the player. In the future, more reliable research can only be conducted if these limitations are addressed. That's all for my paper explanation. Thank you for listening for so far. Thank you.